you have been carrying a weight that never shows on the outside. You still show up, you still function, you still do what needs to be done. But inside, something feels unfinished, unresolved, quietly heavy. You've waited longer than you expected, longer than you planned for, longer than you ever told anyone you could handle. And the hardest part isn't the waiting itself. It's the way waiting slowly makes you question everything. You question your decisions. You question your timing. You question whether you misunderstood God somewhere. Along the way, you look at your life and think, this was supposed to look different by now. That's when the doubt creeps in, not loudly, not all at once, but slowly, patiently, convincingly. It tells you maybe you're behind, maybe you missed your moment, maybe this season means you failed without realizing it. This season feels heavy. It feels uncomfortable. It feels random. But listen carefully now. This season is not random, and it is not wasted. What feels like delay is not neglect. What feels like stillness is not abandonment. What feels like nothing is happening is often where the most important work begins. Right now, God is shaping you. Waiting strips things away. It removes distractions. It exposes what we depend on when momentum disappears. It shows us how much of our peace comes from progress instead of trust. How much of our confidence is tied to results instead of faith. How quickly fear fills the space when certainty is gone. You notice how uncomfortable it feels not knowing what comes next. How your mind keeps searching for timelines. How your heart wants reassurance before it's willing to rest. You compare your life to others. You compare progress. You compare outcomes. And without meaning to, you start measuring your worth by movement. But growth does not always look like progress. Sometimes growth looks like staying when leaving would be easier. Sometimes growth looks like obedience without applause. Sometimes growth looks like trusting God without evidence. Most people expect God to work through visible change, through open doors, through quick answers, through moments that make sense immediately. But some of his deepest work happens quietly, in seasons where nothing seems to move on the outside, yet everything is being reshaped on the inside. This is where real trust is formed, not the kind of trust that feels confident and bold, but the kind that stays when understanding disappears, the kind that remains when clarity is missing, the kind that says, I don't see it yet, but I will not walk away. This season is teaching your heart how to release control, how to stop forcing timing, how to let go of outcomes you were never meant to carry. And that kind of faith changes you. If everything happened immediately, your roots would stay shallow. If answers came too quickly, your faith would never deepen, if doors opened before you were ready, you wouldn't survive what waited on the other side. So God allows the waiting not to weaken you, not to punish you, not to ignore you, but to prepare you. This season is removing what cannot go with you, expectations that were too small, attachments that would have limited you, dependencies that would have broken you later. It may feel like nothing is happening, but something is being undone. God is loosening old definitions. He is breaking false timelines. He is rebuilding your foundation quietly, carefully, intentionally. You are being taught how to stand without leaning on certainty, how to breathe without control, how to trust without guarantees. I know there are moments you feel unseen, moments when silence feels louder than any answer, moments when hope feels fragile, like it might disappear if you hold it too tightly. But you are seen. Every quiet prayer, every tear you don't explain, every moment you choose endurance over escape. Nothing about this season is invisible to God. And now hear this as if Jesus himself is speaking directly to you. I see you. I see the weight you carry. I see the strength you don't recognize yet. I see the faith you hold, even when it feels weak. I have not forgotten your prayers. I have not overlooked your obedience. I have not wasted your waiting. I am shaping you for what you cannot see yet. I am strengthening what must last. I'm preparing you for a future that requires depth, not speed. What feels slow is intentional. What feels unclear is purposeful. What feels uncomfortable is forming something stronger within you. This waiting is building something permanent, a calm that doesn't collapse under pressure, a trust that doesn't disappear when circumstances change, a strength rooted deeper than outcomes. You may not feel stronger yet, but strength is forming. You may not see change yet, but transformation is happening quietly. You may not understand this season yet, but it has meaning. Nothing here is wasted. And when this season ends, you won't just step into something new. You'll step into it prepared, more grounded, more aware, less shaken by uncertainty. You will look back and realize that what felt like delay was protection. That what felt like silence was teaching you how to listen. That what felt like nothing was becoming something solid. So if your heart feels tired right now, allow it to rest here. You don't need to force clarity. You don't need to rush the process. You don't need to carry the future all at once. Stay, trust, remain. God is still working. He is not late. He has not forgotten you, and He has not wasted this season. Let me pray with you now. God, you see this heart carrying uncertainty and quiet exhaustion. You know, the waiting, the questions, the strength it takes just to keep going. Give peace where answers are missing. Give endurance where hope feels thin. Teach them to trust you not only for what you will do, but for who you are right now. Remind them that this season is not random, that you are shaping them with care and intention, that nothing in their life is wasted in your hands. Let their heart rest in that truth. Amen. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being shaped